righty, here we go. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. It's Ben at 10 at your local weather show. It is our last day of winter. We'll give it up for Old Man Winter leaving our area today. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you want, leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching from, even if it's just a good morning, or let us know if you have a weather question. If you're watching the replay, feel free to drop in and say hello as well. I'll often look at those replay comments too. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Today's going to be all about positivity. We've got the big old fat Big Happy in the house as well, loaded up with the black tea this morning, actually. We're going fancy with the black English tea as we get started. And hey, as we get started as well, again, we're going to say goodbye to that guy right there. That is the Old Man Winter that I feel, in my opinion, gave us a pretty hearty winter. Here we go. I was just checking the audio video, make sure everything was looking good. But hey, you got everybody saying, see you later. Good riddance. So long. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I'm out of here, Old Man Winter says. And he's leaving with a punch. We are springing into action here today. 60s out there today. We've got a little disturbance that'll bring in some high clouds, maybe a sprinkle, but it's going to be kind of a mixed sky, sunshine, and some clouds, but 60s, mid 60s today. I bumped up the temperatures for today with a light south breeze, and then mid 70s tomorrow and Saturday, and I've got us going into the low 80s on Sunday and dry through the weekend as well. So we are really pushing up those temperatures, springing up the temperatures. The spring officially begins tomorrow morning at 10:46 a.m. with the vernal equinox. Vernal meaning springtime, and equinox meaning equal day, equal night, which is not perfectly equal, but it's around just a little over 12 hours of daylight for tomorrow and just under 12 hours of nighttime. So we're getting those longer days here, obviously. Day by day, we're gaining, about 2 or 3 minutes of daylight per day as we head towards our first day of summer, which is right around June 20th. So all things spring we're thinking here, and it's a mostly dry outlook as well. Our grass is going to be growing. We're going to have to start mowing here pretty soon. My grass already kind of needs a little bit of a trim. So we've got a lot of fun things to get going here for our Thursday. Happy Friday Eve, March the 19th here at 10:02. Thanks for joining the program here this morning. And there's a live look with the falls of the ohiofoundation.org camera. Things are looking gorgeous out there. With, again, some areas seeing a lot of sunshine, some areas seeing just a few more clouds as we get started on this Thursday morning. Again, the last day of wintertime. Going to hit the refresh button here as we take a look at some of the current conditions right now. We got our live stream up here at extolmag.com/weather. 44 degrees is the current temperature coming in from the weather observation station. And our wind at 10, so a much milder start than our last couple of mornings. The brand new 7-day is here and ready for you that I've slapped on the website here this morning. Tomorrow we go to an average high of 60 degrees, so those average highs are going up as well. And again, feast your eyes on that 83 degrees on Sunday. We'll take a look at the long-range weather pattern and see if this warmer pattern can continue through the long range here coming up. And even though we drop to the 50s, which isn't bad early next week, we start to climb back up to the 60s next Wednesday, 70s next Thursday. Loving the look of the overall pattern. I don't see any severe weather either over the next 7 days. And you know my rule of thumb, any week we can get through, any 7-day period we can get through, March, April, May, without severe weather is a win for us. But I've got a brand new weather story that I've just posted on here as well. You can also take a look at a lot of other things. Any watches or warnings, radar, satellite, all that good stuff is all loaded up and ready to go for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week here at extolmag.com/weather. So there you go. Lots of cool stuff here. And this is another interactive map where you can plot temperatures. If there's any severe weather, you can plot that out. This one is really nice, where you can take a look at the visible satellite. Look at all that sunshine there, especially, over southern Indiana, west of I-65 in Kentucky, a little layer of clouds, kind of a mid-high level layer of clouds around Louisville to the southeast, but I mean, that's looking pretty nice overall here for our Thursday. And again, our last day of winter time. So there it is. Again, we're kicking old man winter out of here. And if you're new to the program, we'd like to give you the forecast off the bat, look at some current conditions. We'll thank our partners, and then we'll get into some fun stuff here. We got brand new weather trivia for today as well, so stay tuned for that. No Googling if you're going to be doing the weather trivia. This week, the plant of the week is the shamrock. That was the plant that I bought for my mom, my wife, and Angie Fenton. So we're spreading the shamrocks around. The good luck. And you can grab those at Grantline Nursery and Garden Center right now. And our weather headlines for your March 19th, nice, mild, just maybe a couple sprinkles, especially for areas off to the northeast, but most areas will be staying dry as we head well into the 60s. Mid-70s Friday and Saturday, 80s on Sunday, and a mostly dry weather outlook here for us. That play ball forecast looks like we can get some soccer, some golf, some baseball, some softball practice outside today. 66 degrees. And just that small chance of a sprinkle, so nice and mild. And what's also nice about today, the winds are going to be very, very light out there. Almost no wind for today. All right. We're cooking along here at 10:06 on our take a look at some comments that are popping in. Orlean Whitlow, good morning. Glad winter is over, and 44 degrees there in Hodgenville. Love your reports every morning, by the way. Dennis Gregory, happy Thursday. So happy for these temperatures and the coming days. And a correction on my part, because Dennis was correcting me yesterday morning because I showed Michael Long's little dusting of snow. He said, I meant to send this to you yesterday. So yes, the day before yesterday, we had that little dusting in Bedford, Indiana of snow, but some other areas had a dusting as well. The grill is calling Tim Furnish's name. I hear you there. We need to get that fired up this weekend. I'm gonna remind myself to do that. And John Fox has a good morning. Nice start to the NCAA March Madness tournament today. Yeah, we got Louisville playing at like 1:30, I think. I don't have all the games memorized, but it's a fun time of the year. It's kind of like March Madness kicks in, springtime kicks in, and then right around the corner you got Thunder over Louisville, you got Kentucky Derby Festival, the Kentucky Derby Week. Then you're off and running towards Memorial Day, and then, hey, it's summertime 2026. Perry Porter is here with the coffee. Had to do a to-do list for Sandy. Sandy's custom cakes there in Borden, Indiana, and we've got sunshine in Hodgenville. Thank you guys for letting me know what's going on in your backyard. All right, let's get to some other stuff. And again, today we've added a little extra segment. Yes, we've got your weather countdown, your weather history, your weather jokes, stupid weather jokes, but we've also got weather trivia. So if you want to be a part of that, again, no Googling. I'm going to make today's weather trivia very easy. We're just going to ease into it, but it's going to get a lot harder, I promise you. So I'll probably let you Google some of the terms that we might encounter as we get deeper into the nerdy weather trivia. Again, seeing just some high clouds out there mixed with a lot of blue sky. This is the fallsoftheohio.org camera, Falls of the Ohio Foundation. Very cool there. I want to thank our partners here at Lions Roofing, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. I mentioned it the last couple of days. If you didn't hear me mention it, my mom had some shingles fly off with those gusty winds, those cap shingles, and they were there the next day to put them back on. So very responsive, quality work, right here in our backyard, family owned and operated. You can call them anytime you want if you need some roofing assistance. 812-294-3595. You can also see a lot of information about their company right here at lionsroofingco.com or on their Facebook page, Lions Roofing. They're easy to find and easy to get in contact with. Ivy Tech Community College out here in Sellersburg. You just go to the campus right here online or just drive up and take a look at their beautiful campus right there at Highway 311, I-65, 9 miles north of Louisville. Dozens of two-year programs. Tuesdays at the Tech where you can get that one-on-one information. Make sure the high schoolers are getting their dual credit if they can do that. And there's a bunch of high schools that are partnered up with them. Their calendar We've got the spring class sessions ending in April. We're going to be out there live April 1st to celebrate that. And then the summer sessions, they're going all year long. They're here for you. You belong here. Our plumbing partner in Kentucky, Clogbusters Plumbing Services, clearing the way one flush at a time. You can call them at 859-762-1214. They've got really easy contact panel right there in the bottom right. You can also go to clogbustersplumbing.com to learn more. We talked about our plant of the week, the Shamrock, out of Grantline Nursery and Garden Center. If you ever want landscaping help, helping to beautify your yard, or you just want to get a bunch of plants like my mom has done from their nursery over the years, you can just give them a call, 812-945-5676, or just hop in their nursery and meet the friendly folks there. Speaking of friendly folks, my buddy Michael Long, my insurance agent, my mom's insurance agent, proud to be an American Star certified agency. Excellence in customer experience. You can call him for a quote, 812-578-3072. I keep meaning to get him on live. We need to talk to Michael Long live on the show here pretty soon. And hey, find your Southern Indiana home. Whether you're buying or selling, I'm a real estate agent. You know me here. You know what you're going to get out of me. I pay close attention to detail, of course, with the forecast, and I'll work hard for you if you ever want to sell or buy a home, and it's through Lopp Realtors out of Southern Indiana. So let me know if I can help you out. Would love to meet up with you and get to know you and what you're looking for. All right, let's get going into your forecast. And by the way, if you want to get a hold of me for weather or for real estate needs, here's an easy way to contact me, Ben at extolmag.com or b.peine at lopprealestate.com. Real estate, advertising, marketing, we're doing it all here. All right, we've got Emmanuel. Good morning from Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello to you, sir. Thanks for tuning in here. Again, we're getting rid of Old Man Winter, as we mentioned. Last day of winter here, as the vernal equinox is tomorrow. We talked about the plant of the week, the Shamrock. Nice, mild at best, a few sprinkles. It's look like it's going to be mostly dry for most of our area. So enjoy the 60s out there today. Very little wind, very peaceful weekends. Mid-70s Friday and Saturday, and 80s on Sunday. And a mainly dry outlook, as you'll see in the 7-day coming up. And again, the play ball forecast looks like we're just fine to get outside and play some ball or watch some ball inside, because, of course, it is the NCAA tournament. Hey, Orlean, thank you very much. It was a decent amount of work getting that real estate license. I'm also an FAA licensed drone pilot, small unmanned aircraft, I think is what it's technically called. So that kind of goes hand in hand with the business I do here with our business partners, but also real estate. So we're going to put that to use as well. I can fly a drone around the area. Speaking of which, do you guys want to, before we get to the forecast, do you want to see my drone work here recently? Here it is for Lions Roofing. Check it out. This is like just a beautiful home in Floyd's Knobs. Going up there. Steep roof, and I mean their work is so efficient, and it was cool to. You got to get some reps on that drone, and I want to thank my buddy DJ Zip for trusting me to fly right over the top of his beautiful Lions roofing truck there. So this is a little bit of a chilly day. It was last Saturday, I think, is when we got the drone up. But there you can see the crews out there working hard. And I think one last shot here from up above, and then we'll get back to your forecast here. So just kind of cool. It's always cool to get up in that drone anyway. All right, let's get back to that forecast here. There you go. Hey, if you need any drone work, let me know. All right, so here we go. Benefit concert in a couple weeks. Jessica's Journey Foundation.com is where you can learn more. Melwood Arts Center, April 4th. Juicebox Heroes, The Suburbans, music, food, drinks, basketball. It's going to be a good time. Again, learn more there at Jessica's Journey Foundation. Here's your trivia question of the day. I mean, look at that studly weather nerd right there. So my favorite weather term. What is a haboob? Is it a dust storm? Is it B, an intense downpour? Or C, did I just make that up? No Googling. That's the rule. And then we're going to get back to this after the weather jokes. So I'm going to give you time to think about it in the comments. Put A, B, or C, and we'll get back to the answer. We're only a day away from spring beginning at 10:46 a.m. tomorrow. Thunder over Louisville in 30 days, 1 month away, April 18th. Derby Day, 44 days, and Memorial Day, the unofficial start to summertime, in 66 days. All right, here's your weather history. 1906, Indianapolis set a record snowfall for the date at over a foot of snowfall. It's kind of in March, you see record snow and you see also record tornadic events. It's March again is the madness of weather. Probably the most crazy month of the year. 1907, the highest March temperature in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, was set when the temperature soared to 97. I think they're going to be hitting some of those temperatures very soon. If you've been watching the program here, the long range outlook, it's becoming short range now, but a lot of the southern plains could be getting near 100 pretty soon. Dodge City, Kansas also set a March record at 98 degrees. It was hot. 1907. 1948, one of Illinois' deadliest tornadoes affected areas in and around the north of St. Louis metropolitan area. And I think John Fox knows this area. The tornado traveled from Alton, Illinois, that's very close to St. Louis, to Bunker Hill, killing 33 people, injuring 449. Half of Fosterburg and 80% of Bunker Hill were damaged or destroyed. The twister occurred at 6:30 in the morning. 2003, a 2-day snowstorm dumped 7 feet of snow on parts of Colorado and Wyoming. The heavy snow ripped cloth roof off of the Denver International Airport. A cloth roof. Meanwhile, small tornadoes were reported in Tennessee and Alabama. Our stupid jokes of the day. And then we're going to get back to your weather trivia answer. What did the number 20 do when it was hungry? 28. I mean, that's a good, simple kindergarten joke you can remember. What did Ernie say when he was offered ice cream? Sure, Bert. That's pretty good. I like that one. What has 4 wheels and flies? A garbage truck. And that is a joke to remind me to get the dang trash out tonight so I'm not running out in my underwear tomorrow. The answer to our trivia question, what is a haboob? It is a dust storm. A big dust storm. A, if you answered A, you were correct. Did we have anybody playing? All right, let's see. John Fox says, I made that up. You're wrong, sir. Emmanuel is correct. The first winner here. Dust storm. Perry Porter thought an intense downpour. Sorry, not this time. Bertha Turner loving the sunshine and the warmer weather. Me too. We're all on board for a nice warm up. We've got Bertha thinking I made it up. Orlean thinking I made it up. John Fox saying my home area there in Alton, Illinois. So yeah, the answer, haboob, kind of a funny weather term, but it means an intense dust storm. They get that in the desert Southwest, sometimes in Texas as well. Google it if you don't believe me. All right. Good joke. I will try not to forget the garbage. Emmanuel remembers hearing that and thought it was weird. And I don't think I've ever been in a dust storm, anything like that. All right, let's get to your forecast here. We've had some fun with the jokes and the weather trivia. We'll try to keep the weather trivia coming each day. And again, lighten up the program every now and again, especially on the quiet days. Low to moderate pollen today, but it is going to be ramping up. I feel like it's just starting to impact me a little bit, that tree pollen, maple, juniper, elm. So you start off this time of the year with tree pollen, and then we start to introduce the grass pollen, and then they kind of intermingle for a little while. Like April, you get grass and tree pollen, and then they start to go down in June, and then gradually through the summertime, you get a break until the ragweed season begins to ramp up. And then you're fighting weeds in your yard. And then we fight ragweed season all the way until usually October, when we get our first frost or freeze. So that's kind of the typical way the pollen season goes. Okay, that forecast here for today, our high 66 degrees. I've ramped it up a bit. It does look drier today than what the models were hinting at yesterday. So at best, maybe a sprinkle, but I think most areas will not have a sprinkle. And it's just going to be an enjoyable day. South winds at around 5 to 10. We've got things strewn around the backyard from the wind that we had. So I need to get around and clean it up. It's time for a spring cleaning in the garage and all that fun stuff this weekend. We got the basement cleaned out. So one step at a time. One day at a time. 50 degrees tonight. Clear and cool. Last winter night. And it's fairly mild here for us. Here's tomorrow's forecast. Spring begins with the vernal equinox at 10:46. That's when the sun's direct rays are over the equator, and it equates to a nearly equal day and night. Not quite equal, but pretty close. So spring begins tomorrow for our Friday, 68 at noon. It's not a Friday the 13th, thankfully. We had that last time. 75 degrees. We do have 3 Friday the 13ths this year, which is abnormal. Vicky, that's the last time I'll talk about it. I won't talk about any more frost or freeze. I hope we don't get any more. Hopefully we luck out and we just stay on this milder weather pattern. But typically it's early to mid-April, our last frost, just to keep that in mind. Sunrise 7:44, sunset at 7:55. It's funny how weather can change moods. It can impact us. Hopefully we're shedding off that seasonal affective depression, disorder, whatever it is. Let's get rid of it. What's the deal with the brown ladybugs? We've been having them using the shop vac. Man, I'll tell you what, Perry, they were bad in the fall. Every late October around Halloween, early November. It's usually after a first freeze or frost, and then we warm up in the 60s, and then they attack our house, and there's hundreds of them, thousands of them. We tape up our doors and windows, even though everything's pretty tight. And then they get inside the woodwork, and then they work themselves back out to get back outside, but they can't find a way to get outside. So then you've got them again in the springtime. So the ones that are inside your house now came from inside your house, and they're just creeping out from the crevices. So I know the pain living out in the countryside. We got to deal with it. Part of the fun. So again, 75 tomorrow. Fantastic day. Just a light, or actually the wind will kick up a little bit. Southwest winds at around 10 to 20. Those Asian lady beetles, they are a pain. And also some stink bugs in there too. 76 Saturday, lows in the 50s. And there you go, our warmest day, 83 degrees. It's probably near a record high. I didn't check, but that would probably be pretty close to a record high. And I've got a small chance of a night shower Sunday. That's with a cold front that'll move through. It doesn't look like we have energy for severe weather with that. So I think that's going to behave and move on through. But it is about a 20 to almost 30 degree temperature drop, which gets us pretty close to normal early next week. 55 Monday and then 59 degrees on Tuesday. 60s on Wednesday and then 70s next Thursday. So overall, yeah, we've got highs in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. But overall, you average it all out. This might be the best 7-day forecast that we have had. Vicky saying they'll get in your electric boxes too. They will get in everywhere. They will bite you. I've been bitten by them. They get into the lights in our garage. They get into the lights inside the house. Anywhere they can get into, they will get into. I don't know how they do it, but that's a reminder too. I need to clean up the ladybugs and the lights in the garage. You guys are just adding more chores to the list here for today. But all right, let's get to the weather maps and your future radar, your futurecast, your long range forecast. It looks, I think, overall like better news. I think it's going to stay fairly mild over the next couple of weeks as we wrap up March and head into April. So we'll take a look at that here in just a sec. Here's, before we get to the RadSat, just another live look at the Falls of the Ohio.org camera. Looks like an airplane coming in for a landing at Louisville, Muhammad Ali International Airport. And let me click off that there and go ahead and bring up the radar and satellite. We'll go full screen And there you can see a lot of sunshine across the area. So it looks like this little clipper system that showed some promise for at least some sprinkly activity is kind of drying up and weakening out. You can see that up to the northeast over Ohio. That's where we see just a little bit of light rain. But look at this, a pretty quiet continental United States, coast to coast and border to border, a little bit of snow shower activity up in New York, and then some rain where I feel like it's always raining up in Seattle. But look at all that sunshine coming in from the west. We've got some pretty nice weather for us. There's another little system that might swing some clouds in like this one that you see to the northeast tomorrow afternoon, but I think, again, we will stay on the dry side with that. Pretty good looking stuff. We haven't brought up our current temperature map for across the entire United States in a while. Let me see if I can plop this one up here. And it should load any second. Just looking at the overall trends. It's going to be really interesting out in the plains over the next few days, as they could be reaching the 90s. But here we go. We're looking at, where's my map? Let me see here. Surface temperature. Got that on. Oops, turn it back on. Oh, there we go. Just got to click some buttons. So I just wanted to see the colors behind it. I like colors. Right. We got 40s. It'll be in the 50s soon. It'll be in the 60s for this afternoon. Karen Razor. Yeah, I'm trying to make it fun, and then you give me a honey-do list. I really appreciate that. Rob Eaton, back from Jamaica. This cold weather is just rude, but hey, Rob, you're going to be bringing in that warm weather from Jamaica for us, and we appreciate that, because once you see these weather maps, I think you're going to like what you see. You're going to like how it looks on you. What is that, Men's Warehouse? You're going to like the way you look. All right. Let's go to future radar, and it's not doing a good job. Let's just be honest, because that was at 5 a.m. Let me. All right. So again, it's not doing a good job because it's showing green on us, and it's fighting dry air. So that is the NAM 3 kilometer. Let's see the HRRR and see how it's doing. It's doing better. It's not showing any green on us. So we'll use the HRRR high resolution rapid refresh weather model. And it's looking mainly dry across the area. There's not much showing up. I do want to just jump ahead to tomorrow. As I mentioned, it looks like there's another little clipper to our northeast, and it shows a little green blip around Cincinnati. So it looks like most of our area is going to stay dry again with that rain. And look at all that rain over New England. So they get hit with it, but we don't. And let me plop on our temperature map. Oh, I love the look at the high def. It's just so beautiful here. All right, we're going to go full screen, and I'm going to click on some stuff here. We got to feast our eyes on this here. Actually, I need to get out of full screen so I can actually click on it. But there we go. We're well into the 70s, and we mentioned record highs in Oklahoma. This time in 1907, was it? Wow. Blowtorch weather. There we go. All the way up into northern Indiana. We like that. That is your Friday. That is spring. Spring begins, and those temperatures are skyrocketing here for us. So thank you, Rob Eaton, for that tailwind coming in from Jamaica, bringing in all these nice temperatures here. Thanks, by the way, for the like, the share, the emoji, the follow, the subscribe on any platform that you might be watching from. Thank you so much for the support here. Just, I always forget a lot of times I forget to promote. I got to remember to promote. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the forecast. We're going to jump ahead with our temperature map here. We're going to keep it on temps because there's not much rain going on here. So I'm going to go to the 21st, which is our Saturday, of course, and notice that most of the United States is under the influence of the warm air. So that means the incoming solar radiation, the insolation is what we call it, is starting to warm things up from the Gulf and that's spilling in the warmer air mass and shoving old man winter back up to the North Pole. So we're starting to see that trend this time of the year. Now, if we do get an intrusion of cold air, that's when you get the severe weather chances. That's why we have the severe weather that peaks this time of the year in March and April and May. By June, that warmer air mass really wins out. The jet stream tracks to the north, and you lose the wind energy, and you're losing the unstable air. So typically around June, our weather pattern settles down, and then you just get those regular old pop-up summertime thunderstorms. But we're getting into the heart of it, the severe weather season. That's why the last couple of weeks we had Severe Weather Awareness Week, and we've already had some bouts of severe weather. Going into the 22nd here, so our Sunday, and this is where I think we will hit lower 80s. So probably some of the warmest temperatures we've had so far this year, looking at near 100 in Texas. That's showing 102 there. In north central Texas into Oklahoma, pretty crazy. And we've got our lower 80s here. St. Louis showing upper 80s. Pretty cool stuff. Not cool stuff, pretty warm stuff. Liking that right there. All right, so then you're going to see like this little temperature change. Notice that blue starting to push in. This is at 2 a.m. So with that little push of some cooler air, which will drop us to the 50s on Monday, what about precipitation? Well, the GFS is not showing much at all during the late night hours Sunday. The Euro is a little earlier, and it has a little slice of some showers, maybe a couple thunderstorms, like after 8 p.m. Sunday. But the GFS has actually been, I think, behaving a little bit better than the European weather model lately. Either way, it looks like just a brief little sliver of some showers along that cold front, and then we're back to dry conditions. So no big deal with that, but we do cool down a little bit here for our first Monday of springtime as we fall into the 50s. But again, we can handle 50s. A lot better than the windy 30s we had on Monday. Don't forget Monday when we have 50s next Monday. All right, let's back it out, and we're going to start to look at the long-range weather trend. So that means it's time for the good old Ben on a Limb segment. All right, here we go. And we're going to go to, this will take us to, Tuesday the 24th. It's still on the cool side. Notice that cool pocket over the Ohio Valley, very hot out west. But then that warm air starts to slide back our direction as we head into next Wednesday. I think that gets us back up into the 60s next Wednesday. And they're still up around 100. Look at that, just, again, blowtorch going up through the Great Plains, up and bumping up to the Rocky Mountains. It was not a big snow season there over the Rockies. Going into the 26th, this would be next Thursday. And we're on the warm side, but notice the color contrast. That means the front would be moving in. I've got 70s for us before that front moves through the area. With any front, you're like, are we going to get some rain? And then we plop on the rain, and it does show a little bit of rain next Thursday as that moves through. To me, that looks pretty tame. I mean, there's not much energy to work with that system. Just a little bit of that convective available potential energy, the CAPE, and the fuel for thunderstorms. So no big deal there. That front moves through. And then we go to next Friday, the 27th. And that's looking a little chilly. That's showing 40s. So going into our second weekend of springtime, not this weekend, next weekend, could have a little bit of a chill spell. Ooh, look at that. You don't want the pink. The pink is no good. That pink is usually 20s. So that's not good because we've got a lot of things over the next week that are going to be blooming and blossoming, and we don't want damage to the fruit trees. And that's what you get when you get a big warm up this time of the year and then a potential freeze. So hopefully that's not the case, but there it is. That would be the 28th morning. I think that's a Saturday morning, I think. So again, our second weekend of spring right there, maybe a cool shot dropping into our area. And it cools off much of the United States with that solution right there. Notice all the yellow and the orange goes way south. And then here we go into the 29th. It's starting to warm back up. So roller coaster March weather. We've said that a lot of times here. I'm going into the 30th of March and big time warm up, it looks like once again. So short lived chilly spells this time of the year. And then you get that warm up again. So there might be some times we got to protect our plants, cover them up a little bit. There's some nice warm weather into March 31st, into April Fool's, April 1st. It's got a cold front again. Maybe that's an April Fool's joke. Yeah, it's April 1st, cold front with showers and thunderstorms. We'll see if that actually happens. This is pretty far out. Wouldn't be a surprise, though, this time of the year. And then as we go into April 2nd, coolish temperatures, a little blue, a little yellow. That's usually around 50s, 60s. Average highs are well into the 60s by this time of the year, that time of the year. And we're going now into April 3rd, my mom's birthday. Just looks kind of normalish weather. And that's as far out as the GFS goes. We'll bring up the Climate Prediction Center, the CPC, their 6 to 10 day outlook. And very hot out west, as we've seen. And we're just kind of on a little bit above normal, although this weekend we're way above normal. And then I'm going to go to the 8 to 14 day outlook, so the next couple of weeks, and we are still overall under the influence of above normal temperatures through the long range outlook there with the Climate Prediction Center. So with all of that said, that has been the good old Ben on a Limb segment. We're at 10:36, having a good time on a Thursday. We're almost to the weekend. We're seeing a lot of sunshine out there. So I would say, the weather today turning out even better than expected in many cases. So again, we got our live stream up right now. I'm trying to hit the refresh button on this. My browser is not wanting to do the refresh. Maybe it is a little bit. Nope, that's still an old one there. But I do have the weather story up right there, which we're kicking Old Man Winter out. 44 degrees, our current temperature. Got the brand new 7-day forecast up there for you. We've got weather maps galore. Also, you can email me or just message. If you ever see, you want a weather map that you're not seeing on this page, we can add it. We can customize this for us here in Southern Indiana and Kentucky. So if there's some kind of data that you're not seeing, let me know, and I'm sure we can dig it up and put it right here on our website. This is for us. This is not for me. This is for all of us. Look at all that sunshine. Look at those clouds clearing out. There's the high def. Look at the visible satellite. This is a look at the temperature map. There's a lot of other maps that you can take a look at as well. And if you click on any area, it'll bring up an arrow. You click on the arrow, and it's got hour by hour all the way into next week. You can see the temperature graph. Very cool. The winds, the wind gust, the wind direction, any rain potential. It's got that Saturday night little bit of rain potential there that we talked about. It's got your temperatures. It's got 80s there on Sunday as well. Very cool way to look at your forecast right there. All right. And we'll do a forecast recap for you guys that are popping in a little bit later. And let me ramp that one back up. April 27th is mine. I have a weather history that's interesting on the 26th. You might have to email me that, Emmanuel. You've got my email address. Yeah, if you have any weather jokes or weather history, throw them at me. Happy to share the content. Cheers from Big Happy here. It's a black tea morning. And here we go. There we go. We're getting rid of Old Man Winter. We're kicking him out of here for a long time, we hope. But we did see that maybe some cold temperatures Not this weekend, but next. We will see. What is in his bag? So I asked AI to make this. This is creepy here. Look, if you look closely here, he's carrying a bag and there's a hand. It looks like a child's hand under his arm, under his sack. It looks like he kidnapped somebody. That is some creepy AI right there. Do you guys see that hand coming out of his jacket? I don't know what's going on with that guy. Something's creepy there. All right. Here's our plant of the week from Grantline Nursery and Garden Center. Go over there on Grantline Road and pick them up. I bought, again, my wife and my mom and Angie Fenton one and Sarah Lopp Dietrich one as well at Lopp Realtors. So give a gift, a springtime gift. And these can grow and last a long time. And they kind of have a life of their own. They'll close up at nighttime. They'll open back up, and the sun comes out. They bloom. They can just be a nice part of your indoor or outdoor plant situation. Our weather headlines here for our March 19th. Nice, mild, couple sprinkles out there, but I doubt we'll see many sprinkles. Yeah, he's funny. Maybe he kidnapped Winter and he's running away. I don't know. Maybe he kidnapped Mother Nature. I don't know what's going on that. 70s, well into the 70s tomorrow and Saturday. 80s Sunday, mostly dry weather outlook here for us. Our play ball forecast, it looks like we can finally get some practices outdoors, whether it's softball, baseball, soccer, whether it is golf. What other spring sports do we have? Looks like we're in good shape for today, although it is spring break. We got a benefit concert. We've talked about this for weeks. It's coming up soon. April 4th, Final Four, Saturday. There's going to be basketball screens up. Juicebox Heroes, the Suburbans, food, drinks. Find out more and get your tickets at jessicasjourneyfoundation.com. Our weather trivia today, what is a haboob? And the answer was A, dust storm, not an intense downpour, and not something that I just made up. I tried to make this one easy today. We'll have more in the days ahead. Spring begins in a day, and Teresa can't wait for baseball season. I am with you. We have had some boring evenings. But thankfully, it was good to have some boring evenings because that gave me time over the wintertime to study every night for the real estate. It was 90 hours of required studying. But I'm with you. I mean, it's going to be a crazy next couple of months, Teresa, with baseball and golf, but we're here for it. 30 days until Thunder over Louisville. Derby Day, 44 days. Memorial Day, 66 days. It's the biggest time of the year for Kentuckiana. Weather history. There's a lot of it. I'm going to slap this up there on Facebook at noon. You can take a longer look at it. Our stupid jokes of the day. What did the number 20 do when it got hungry? 28. What did Ernie say when he was offered ice cream? Sure, Bert. What has four wheels and flies? A garbage truck, reminding me to take the garbage out today and not look stupid tomorrow morning. All right. Your allergy report, low to moderate today, probably more moderate today since we're seeing a lot of sunshine in 60s. And then it's high levels with tree pollen. It's your main pollinator. Here's our Thursday, Friday Eve, March 19th forecast, 66 degrees, nice and mild. Most areas dry, south winds at around 5 to 10. Our sunset at 7:55. And tonight, a low of 50 degrees. Our last winter night is a good one with a mostly clear sky. And our first spring day is, I was trying to think of an alliteration with spring. Splendid spring day. 75 degrees. That's as good as I got. 7:44, sunrise, sunset, 7:55. And our 7-day forecast, mid-70s tomorrow and Saturday, 83 on Sunday, all dry through the weekend. If we see a shower chance with that cold front, it looks like it's going to be Sunday night, and then it just drops us to the 50s Monday and Tuesday. No biggie there. And then we're back to the 60s Wednesday, 70s Thursday, mostly dry 7-day outlook. We may have a front move through late next Thursday with some showers with that. All right, there's the big old forecast. Vicki, thank you so much for being a part of the program from the very early days. We're almost to a year anniversary celebration of the Ben at 10 show. So there's a lot of familiar faces that I've seen from the very beginning, like Vicky, like Orlean, Lottie, Lillian Lasley down in Grayson County, Beverly in Borden, Perry in Borden. And then new faces along the way. It's been a journey. We've been trying to, every day go for 45 minutes at least, even on the quiet days. So thanks for being a part of the program here. As April 2nd, the big pre-flood show that had about, I think, 90,000 views, which is crazy. That's way more than any television local news broadcast. Our first broadcast with John Gordon, the head of the National Weather Service. We were talking about the flooding last year on April 2nd. So that was a big anniversary, and that's coming up here very soon. I think that's going to be a Thursday, April 2nd this year, I think. When with that, along the way, we have some partners that have allowed us to do what we do, and you know about them if you've been watching the show. Lions Roofing, one of our biggest partnerships here. 812-294-3595 is the number to call for any of your roofing needs. Again, I've got firsthand knowledge. I know them well. They're friends. They're a family-owned company. They've helped out our family, and they can help out yours. A lot of times they're not the events that you want to deal with. Severe storms can cause a lot of problems with the roofing situation. But if you have an older roof and you want to get it checked out, you can get quotes here online, or you can give them a call as well. And if you want to level up your career, you belong here. 2-year certification programs. Really get thinking about this. If you want to stick around here, you're not ready to go jumping off hundreds of miles away to some other college. You don't want to waste a bunch of money. Keep it right here locally in Southern Indiana. Powering the workforce here in our area is Ivy Tech Community College, Sellersburg. And you can get hooked up right here at ivytech.edu. Just click on the Sellersburg. And our plumbing partners here in Kentucky, it's Clogbusters with a Z, and they can get anywhere in Kentucky. They got the service vehicles, the crews to get there, and you can see all the easy ways that you can contact them. That's a sign you're dealing with a pro when their website looks like this. This is pretty awesome stuff. And they've got, just like Lions Roofing, reviews. You can check it out. Our partners here at Grantline Nursery and Garden Center, they're busy working away. They're putting out oh, by the way, they've got, I just saw it yesterday. I was joking around. I said, don't tell my wife, but they've got 50% off their indoor plants. They're getting rid of the indoor plants, and they're potting all the outdoor plants. So if you want to get a deal, go there now. It is Grantline Nursery and Garden Center. You can learn more here at grantlinegarden.com. You can follow them on Facebook, Instagram. You can call them 812-945-5676. And again, we were talking about the Shamrock being the plant of the week. Mike Perkins, thanks for being a part of the show this morning. Good morning. Friendly face there from Okolona Christian Church. Used to be a member there back in the day before we moved over into Southern Indiana. I want to thank my buddy Michael Long. If you want to get a quote, maybe there's some ways you can save. 812-578-3072, American Family Insurance, amfam.com. Just search Michael Long. And hey, if you want to find your Southern Indiana home, think about me. Would love to meet up with you, and let's talk about it. And if you're buying, you're selling, you're looking for property, we've had a lot of experience with this. My wife and I bought 30 acres in Southern Indiana. It was full of woods. We had my friend Adam, a logger, clear an acre, dig a basement, dig a pond. We had to put a septic area about a quarter mile back in the woods. It was the only flat spot. So we've had experience with the entire process, from developing the land to the construction loans, all that stuff. So whether you're building or you're wanting to buy or sell or downsize, let me know. I can help you out with Lopp Realtors here in Southern Indiana. Very excited about a couple careers here. Building the weather career, building the real estate career as well, which is something I've been wanting to do for like a decade. My wife's a realtor as well, so we can both help you out. Oh, the jacket. I just noticed your jacket almost looks like U of L. Yeah, it's got the Extol on it here. Thank you very much. I've always been, no offense to UK, I support all of our local teams, but red has surrounded me all my life, from St. Louis Cardinals to Ball State Cardinals, my alma mater, to U of L Cardinals, to IU Crimson, IU Red. My daughter goes to IU, so red has always been a part of my life since I've been a little kid. So thank you very much. And hey, go U of L later today at 1:30. I believe they're playing in the NCAA tournament. So enjoy some basketball later today and tomorrow and through the weekend, and enjoy this phenomenal weather as well. That's been a Ben at 10 show right there. We'll have your Friday edition, your TGIF edition of Ben at 10 tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, following, whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather. Perhaps I've said that a few times. All right, thanks, guys. You guys have a good one. We're going to leave it with Orlean right there. Enjoy your afternoon.